OK, shoplifting in England and Wales is at its highest level in at least 2 decades, and many retailers and police forces are now seeking new ways to tackle the thieves.
Now, Sussex Police has become the first force in the UK to fit prolific offenders with ankle tags to monitor their movements and keep them out of certain areas. Our reporter Olivia Whitfield-Miucci has more.
Bare-chested and a blatant shoplifter, Barry Farthing from Hastings repeatedly targeted supermarkets in East Sussex, walking out with baskets of goods before he was charged with 46 counts of theft. He's now become one of the first people in the country to be fitted with a location monitoring ankle tag for his prolific offending.
So this goes around the ankle. That is the clip, and it clips on the top there.
The small pilot scheme is the idea of Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner Katie Bourne.
They will be monitored all the time they're wearing the tag. That's part of the order, and that's passed through the judge. But what will happen is they will be given a restricted area or zone. So it'll either be you can't go into a particular shop or you can't go into a high street. If they then go into that area, the tag will go off and the police will deal with it.
Nationally, retail crime hit a record high this year, according to the Office for National Statistics, with a 20% increase compared to 2024. This shopkeeper welcomes the initiative, but says the technology can only go so far.
Yeah, he might help. He might bring it down a little bit. And if the police do what they need to be done as well and do him a job and they follow, okay, you put the tag and that's it. This is not enough. It's a follow. They need to follow.
So the police need to be fighting the crime as well?
I believe so, because we suffer.
84% of shoplifting cases still go unsolved, although Sussex Police has been improving how it tackles the crime in recent years. If successful, the initiative could be rolled out more widely, and other police areas have already been in touch.
Definitely recently we've had a number of forces interested in, because it's the first time in the country that we've had a tag for a criminal behaviour order just for shop theft. So it's useful to share that information with other forces.
Victoria Hale from Eastbourne thought pulling her hood up would mask her identity during her stealing sprees. Now banned from her local co-op and forced to wear a tag, her every move is on the police's radar for the next 12 months. Oliver Whitfield-Miucci, BBC News.
Well, let's speak now to Chris Noyce, who's from the Association of Convenience Stores, joining us now from our London newsroom. Very good morning to you, Mr. Noyce. A very basic question. Do you think this will work?
Well, I think this will have to be welcomed by retailers. This is a positive step forward, and it's one of a suite of measures that is being used to tackle shop theft. I think anything that can be done to tackle particularly repeat offenders, and this is what this pilot scheme is looking at, is prolific offenders. One of those cases, 70, 80 incidents of theft. So anything that can be done to try and break that cycle of reoffending will certainly be welcomed by retailers this morning.
Just in terms of the practicalities, help me with this one. If someone is a prolific offender and there are certain shops they have gone to in the past, they're fitted with a tag, people who are repeat shoplifters still go shopping. They will find other shops to go into. So this would do nothing by way of stopping them actually shoplifting. It may change the place where they do the shoplifting.
That's right, but what happens with lots of offences is that people are not just shoplifting, they are being abusive, they are being violent, they're occasionally being racially abusive to people in store. And I think we have to think not just about the financial impact of this, but the impact it has on retailers and their colleagues. And this kind of tagging, which means that those offenders that are doing those other things as well, they can't be in that store, and that will make the colleagues feel safer, because they feel like they've got a bit of a backup from the police and the justice system when they're otherwise dealing with this on sometimes a daily basis.
Chris Noyce, morning, it's Naga here. Just to be clear, those who are tagged, are they not allowed in the stores they have been found to be shoplifting from?
In some cases, yes, that's right. So there'll be an exclusion zone, which is in some cases specifically that shop or specifically an area around that shop. But we're not suggesting that that's going to be the right case for every incident. We have some incidents quite recently where retailers have told us that people either living very close to the shop or even living in flats above the shop have been stealing and been abusive to staff. So it's not the right instance for every problem, but certainly one of a range of measures that can help stop reoffending.
And is any information shared, and I think I suspect the answer to this, in terms of, so the a group of shops in a community or, you know, get spread around, is any information shared about prolific offenders so that shopkeepers can be warned or prepared?
Yeah, there are some measures in place and some schemes that show when people are coming in and other businesses are then warned. I think those schemes are really positive because we know that people go and they steal from a range of shops in one area. They might target lots of places in one go. And often, because not everyone reports that, it doesn't really show the true scale of what's happening. So, yeah, there are some of those. I think they could be more widespread and we can get a clearer picture of exactly what's happening on streets.
We saw pictures of someone shoplifting and a staff member running out and another running out. We have spoken numerous times on this sofa to people in stores who feel that they're not supported by a police presence, that a police presence is, the lack of it is not helping, and also the power they have to stop someone, to prevent someone from taking their goods. What is changing in that sense that might make this better?
Well, there's a big piece of legislation coming through the start of next year, the Crime and Policing Bill, which aims to remove the £200 so-called threshold for police-led prosecutions, which means that police are less likely to investigate. And that's a really positive step. We're not suggesting that we want police cars, you know, driving up with flashing lights every time there's a theft. We're aware that resources won't allow that, but we do want every incident to be investigated. And if retailers feel like that is being backed, then that's a real step forward. What we need, and you know, there's lots of policies in place, all very positive, but what we need essentially on the ground is police, not necessarily policy.
One thing is certain, and you'll know this very well from your members, it is very traumatic for individual shopkeepers to be caught up in any of those situations.
It is extremely so, and I hear from retailers all the time that say, look, I'm not sure if it's even worth doing it anymore. I report all the incidents that I get. I then don't hear back a lot of the time. It's becoming harder and harder, you know, to make the business work, to make it work financially because of the amount of theft, because of the amount of abuse, and for colleagues especially. One incident of theft that's abusive or, you know, even involves a weapon, that can be life-changing. That person may never work again. So, yeah, a huge impact for any single one of these incidents.